Hey, Stephanie. Hey, congratulations
Thank you, kid.
on everything. Not only on your career but your life too.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, so tell me how you got started in this business. I understand you were mostly behind the camera before.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's great that you know that already. I worked, I was an art kid growing up. So, and then I went to school. I mean, I did a lot of theater in, junior high going into high school. But then I really, and for the next, you know, couple of years, I really just worked on set design, started in theater, got into TV and film. And then I hit a point where I was like, I want to go back to being in front of the camera. Started doing a lot of comedy. And I was like, if I'm going to do this for real, I got to cold turkey stop designing, because it really, once you start, I think this is relatable to any job, but once you start working in a field, you'll just you'll keep going, and until you say, I can't take another job, especially in the freelance world. People will still keep bringing you jobs and just through networking. If you don't say, I'm done with this, I'm not doing that anymore. So, and I was doing art direction for some film units on SNL. And I remember, okay, I'm going to start doing, getting back into comedy and UCB and all that stuff when I was in New York. And then now I'm here.
So what was your first step? Was it like stand up, or did you immediately go into like short films, or was it Vine? What was that first step?
You know what? Okay, yeah. Well, Vine definitely, what year? I was just talking about this. Vine came out, I want to say 2010, 2011. That was definitely a way to just throw some ideas out there, see if it works. It was just for fun. But man, everyone loved it. And I grew on there pretty fast, and I really enjoyed it. It was a short-lived app, but it was fun, and to try characters out on there. Very, very short and short. And I did stand up as well. Yeah, in LA, I started doing stand up. And then I just started writing longer form sketches. And then people would, the work would come through there. People would contact, brands would contact me, to write, and that's what I do now.
That is great. I mean, obviously, Vine is dead, but you managed
Vine is dead.
Yeah.
I remember that. Everyone would say that Vine is dead.
But you became like sort of like a, what did they call it? A Viner, like a Vine celebrity.
They've called, yeah. I mean, I remember Vine would send stickers that would be like Viners, like patches. Yeah, it was definitely a thing. And the great thing about Vine was that I didn't, I would just reach out to people that I thought were funny or I wanted to collaborate with that were artists. Some people were just really, you could tell were artists, visual artists. And I love that because because of my background. So I would reach out to all different people and be like, I have this idea, let's do this, whether it was a character or it was something visual to do with comedy. And it was a great way to just meet people and go, okay, I'm going to work with that person again, or I'm not going to work with that person again. And there was a sense of community, and there still is that. I have friends from then now, that I still work with.
So what do you consider as a life after Vine for yourself?
Life after Vine. I always, I guess in the back of my mind, I always thought, okay, I'm not gonna, because there's, Vine, I think for some people was like it was really like, everything. I just knew that it was like I was kind of like passing through, kind of felt like, I don't know how long this is going to last, this Vine thing, so I want to make sure what's my goal? My goal is, I love directing and I love acting. So, I just I guess I just kept, I started shooting longer stuff and put that up on YouTube, and I started posting, Instagram became more of a thing. So I started doing that. I mean, in between, as an actor, you don't get opportunities often. And so in between creative projects, to keep things fun and to keep your sanity, like I just would create. Yeah.
You're so humble in your own way. So you probably never consider yourself like like a celebrity viner or handle the your fan base, right?
I yeah, I don't know. I just sometimes but if people recognize me, I think I don't know. I'm like, wow, that's me. It's so great, to meet them. And uh, sometimes I'm like, well, should I be more, should I treat this more like an influence? I definitely don't feel like an influencer, but, do my fans want me to talk to them more? And, I just try to keep the phone not so invasive, and I hope I'm saying that right, in your life, my life. So it's like there's a balance, because the phone can take over, right? Because the phone's like in our, it's like a computer in our face all the time. Yeah.
So after all this, do you remember your first project? Was it a short film or like a movie?
My first project in front of the camera.
Yeah, in front of the camera.
It was probably something I produced myself. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of, I remember when brands started reaching out, I thought, oh, this is really cool. Oh, Mike's Hard Lemonade or whatever, these, I remember Snapchat was like, and any type of app that was started doing brand work. I remember that was really neat, but I'm trying to think of a movie. What was my first film? Oh, you found the charger. That's fantastic. Gosh, I don't know. I have to look at my at my films.
So many. That's all right.
So sorry. I feel bad that I don't know. I do love doing characters, and I remember, when I started shooting longer form, I remember I did an impression of Michael Jackson that, like, still to this day, I'm just so proud of. It was an impression of Michael Jackson impersonator, and I was just trying to say, at the time when all this stuff was coming out of the news, it would be tough, to be an impersonator. A lot of people didn't like that. A lot of impersonators didn't like that. But I was just being honest. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you do a lot of good impersonations. Sandra Bullock is a good one, and
thank you,
and so on. Well, your most recent project is Canyonlands, which you actually play a lead role in that one. So congratulations with that.
Thank you so much. Yeah,
but that's a horror.
That was really exciting.
I was gonna say that's a horror film. That's not even like comedy.
Yeah. Well, when I read the script, I thought, this is a classic Thrasher. I mean, I'm gonna have fun with this. It's kind of like, it's just like a perfect formula for a Thrasher movie. And I think those are super fun and goofy in a lot of ways. And I was like, oh yeah, I was excited. I was also like excited to be, I was like, oh great, I'm going to Moab. I'm gonna bring this group out into the wilderness, and we're all gonna die. Let's go. Yeah.
How fun was that production? Being so close to the real Canyonlands and actually going on the rapids yourself.
Oh, I mean, first of all the people involved were so great, and we were all in like a close knit kind of space, because that we were in the middle of Moab and we were far away from everything. So we really all became friends and shared stories, and we didn't have any like we didn't have any other choice but to get along with each other because we were all staying in the same place. And there wasn't like, oh, we could go get, let's go pick up some fast food somewhere. There was nowhere to go. Nowhere. You're in the desert, hours and hours away from things. And did I answer that question? I don't even know.
Now, Canyonlands is obviously a feature film, which is quite a drastic change from all your, all the shorts that you actually done. Do you enjoy now you have a taste of that? Do you enjoy the larger projects? Do you want more of those?
Oh, absolutely. I love them. I just thought of another horror film that I did. I got killed in earlier in the year. I mean, they're just so fun. I mean, all the special effects and all that that's involved. I love being a part of this film because of that. And I love doing film. That's always what I wanted to do even from when I was behind the camera. So production designing feature films, that's what I love doing. And then I loved getting, them as I started acting more. I've done a bunch of shorts this year too. I love a good short film. I mean, I always think it'd be great to have a channel where there's just these wonderful short films. Hopefully now that COVID is kind of coming to an end, there's going to be more opportunities for some fun features. I did a feature at the beginning of the quarantine up in Humboldt County, and it's a comedy, and I'm excited for that to come out later this year.
Excellent. Well, let me wrap it up with you, Stephanie, with one more thing, because obviously during the past year, everybody has been stuck in quarantine, but you had a different life. So technically, life actually continued on for you. But how did you stay sane and creative during that time?
A lot of writing. I made a baby. And I still managed to safely, produce a feature film, which was great, all with, along the guidelines of keeping everyone quarantined and all that. So that's how I stayed sane. Also, I can entertain myself. Yeah. I can entertain myself by, if I have a funny idea, I try to shoot it. And, at least I have, we all have this ability to show the world what each of us can do, with the internet. So that is how I stayed sane. And when I could go outside and be in nature.
That sounds great. And just for your old Vine fans, are you still going to do, the short format comedies on your Instagram or TikTok or wherever it is? Oh, you froze.
Oh, are you still there?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm here.
Okay.
Did you hear my question? I basically was just asking whether if you're going to still continue to do, short form comedies.
Absolutely. It's I love like a minute to 2 minute sketches are my favorite. So I'm still doing that on Instagram for sure.
Excellent. Well, hey, Stephanie, hey, congratulations with everything, with your career and with your life. And can't wait to, speak with you on your next project.
Thank you, Gig. It was so nice to meet you.
Hey, nice to meet you too. Thank you. Bye now.